Howdy. This is Nick, back with you today, talking about breaking free from the religious matrix. So, as I've been doing every week, meditations from my book, The Summit of Truth, which is about the Song of Songs in the Bible, which is about the journey of this woman that represents all of us in our journey of finding freedom and awakening and peace and all the good stuff. In the part that we're at now, we're going to find her falling back asleep, which represents in the book mostly coming under the sleep of religion. And when I say religion, when I talk about a religious matrix, I'm not talking about it in a positive way. There's good things that could happen through, quote, religion in the world, but when I use the phrase, I'm referring to a system, a man-made system that attempts to find God, find rest, find peace, find union with God through our works and efforts and all of that. And so what's encouraging is that in this Song of Songs, in the journey of the bride, the Shulamite, we find her falling in and out of sleep. And why I say that's encouraging is that we all do that. And this kind of shows that this is, part of the journey we're on is learning to wake up from our religious sleep, which means waking up from our striving and our self-effort. So let me show you the part that we're on right now. It's from chapter 3 of the Song of Songs. And she says this, "On my bed, night after night, I sought him whom my soul loves." So she's seeking God. She's seeking the one her soul loves while on her bed. You can't lie down on a bed and go out and find someone who you're looking for, right? Like you got to get out of bed to find them. And what we're discovering is that she is asleep. She's in this dream world of religious Christianity. And she's actually kind of entering into a dream, you're going to find, which is her seeking God from a religious place. That's what this is all representing. So it says, "On my bed night after night, I sought him whom my soul loves." She's seeking God in her own strength. And then it says, "I must arise now and go about the city, in the streets, and in the squares. I must seek him whom my soul loves. I sought him, but did not find him." The problem with religion is that it constantly has you circling around the same rituals and routines and all these different things that we attempt to do, that we get taught to do in order to find God. But she's on her bed, she's asleep, she goes into the city, and the city represents the city of man's religious systems. And she says, "I could not find him." And so eventually it says, while she's in this state, this dream state, on her bed still, all of these metaphors representing the same thing. Even though she's out in the city, she's still asleep, okay? She's still dreaming. And in this religious state, she says, "The watchmen who make the rounds in the city found me. And I asked the watchman, 'Have you seen him whom my soul loves?' Scarcely had I left them when I found him whom my soul loves. I held on to him and would not let him go." Now, the watchmen of the city represent leaders, okay, leaders throughout the religious system who, she's going to try to find God. And that's what we do. That's what humans do. We go to somebody that we think is the guru or the expert in order for us to find a connection. And it's very interesting that it says that after she left them, she said, "Scarcely had I left them," meaning very quickly after I left the watchman, then I found the one whom my soul loves. So, first of all, the watchmen, and let me back up a little bit, the watchmen were those who went around the edges of the city, the boundary, the walls of the city, right? They guarded the city, the watchmen. And so this shows the bride is going out to the outermost limits of this religious system, this city. She's going out to, she's trying to find God. She can't find it in the normal highways and byways, in the squares and streets, it says. That word for squares, it's interesting, means the broad ways. Jesus talked about the broad path. that leads to destruction. There's this broad path of religion out there that doesn't go anywhere, right? So she has to go beyond the city, beyond the system, and to try to find the Lord, to find God. And she ends up at the outskirts, and she meets these watchmen, but even still she can't find them until she leaves them. She has to go beyond them to finding God outside of the religious system. Now, let me just make it very clear what I'm saying and what I'm not saying in this meditation today, okay? I'm not saying that leadership is bad or there's no point in leadership. I'm not saying that the church world is bad and all of that. What I am saying is that we can't rely upon, put our trust in a system or a leader to find God. True leaders, true watchmen are those who call people to go beyond themselves to the Lord, to the reality that you already have Jesus in fullness with you. You are already righteous. You have everything that you need already. You don't have to go through the rat race of the religious striving and all the prayer meetings and religious services and conferences out there that constantly dangle the carrot in front of you, saying, if you just do this and do that, if you come to my teaching, you buy my book, you will find God. You'll find all that stuff, right? Again, I'm obviously not saying that books are bad or that conferences are bad or churches are bad. What I'm talking about is the flavor, the spirit underneath it, the system behind it. What is it propagating? Is it propagating something that you need to feed off them? You need to do X, Y, and Z in order to be made whole, to have your breakthrough, whatever it is? Or is it something that's pointing you to the union, the blessed, blissful union and oneness you already have freely, effortlessly as a gift? That is how we break free from this matrix of a world, this religious world, and we find true rest. So think about that this week. Think about how you might be playing the rat race, how you might be going in circles. You might be on a bed thinking God is far away from you and you need to do all of this stuff to get to Him. Let the Lord minister to you and wake you up from that bed and reveal Himself already inside of you, already with you in fullness and love. That's what He wants to do. So I leave you with that today. Be blessed and filled with the knowledge of God's goodness. Amen.